Well, here we are, back in the South. It's good to see you folks again, and sorry for the long wait. As always, with these episodes, we're going for 500 views per video, and then we release the next one. So once again, a bit of an early release here. Well, folks, we know what we have to do. We've, of course, been getting a number of different victories here, and really doing quite well against the Union. Though I don't know how long that is going to continue, and we certainly need to be prepared for any eventuality. I think what I'm going to do here is take the Army of the Northwest, Garnett here, and really try and cause some problems behind the enemy lines. I'm thinking we go straight for Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, that they'll probably be waiting for us. So I'm going to send Garnett up over here to Bellefonte, just order him to take that settlement as quickly as possible. And another thing I'm going to do is over here with Beauregard. He just doesn't seem to be getting enough supply no matter what we do. So what I'm going to do is construct a depot here. Now, I'm not sure a depot is necessary or even something that's really going to help us because we're right on top of a city tile. But perhaps, maybe, just maybe, another depot is necessary. See, there's a depot right there. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll build one right there. We'll just make absolutely sure, you know, have more supply coming in, I hope. Let's go ahead and roll that forward. You can see PGT Beauregard is slowly but surely getting that readiness up, but I'm hoping that that additional depot will make things even easier for him. Okay, as for Henry Wise, we could send him back to Richmond. I think that the Army of the Shenandoah can hold here. So let's send Henry Wise back to Richmond. And in fact, when he gets there, we might end up actually hiring some additional units, recruiting some additional units there for his army. Also, probably time to take a look at our Navy. We haven't had any crazy fights yet, or any opportunities to have a crazy fight, but now may be that time. A-. So actually, the current rating of our nation is not too bad. Our liabilities amount to 90 million owed. Obviously, during this time period, that was a tremendous amount of money. During our time period, not so much. We're going to try not to worry about it. Money will certainly be spent during this war, and there's very little we can do about it. Now, let's take a look there at PGT. Yeah, he's definitely getting that necessary supply. But the men are not particularly happy. Morale is not great after losing so many of their brethren on such a brutal winter march. Now, we can't forget about our northwestern position, so I really just want to jump over there and see if we are on the road to taking another location or on the road to just remaining here cold and afraid. And I think probably the latter. So once again, over with this guy, the Missouri State Guard under Price, we are going to get a depot built. In the middle of the woods, that's right. Right there. The Western Army already has a depot here under McCullough, but again, with 4,600 men, I'm not really sure we're going to be doing much to the enemy. We're pretty much just going to keep that army on watch, and just make sure that we sort of follow their progress and decide what to do with them later. We also have this fellow right here. Where is he? The Army of Florida, that's right. We are currently building a depot, so I'm not going to be moving Bragg, but with that 7,000, I truly think that we could do quite well against other armies, although not this one. There are over 27,000 men in the Army of the West. That is absolutely terrifying. In fact, we're going to accelerate time, and they are headed this way. They are definitely headed this way. I'm trying to get that depot up in time, but I'm almost certain that 7,000 men is not enough to beat 30,000. So I'm thinking we fall back to Knoxville, Tennessee. Yeah, we gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of here with the Army of Florida, and at the very least, save our skins, guys. So that's exactly what I'm planning to do. I hope they accomplish that task in time. Let's keep our focus over here for now. Few days passing by, but anything to, of course, get more and more supplies to that unit. It looks like Garnett, I thought it was Bragg, but it's not. It's actually Garnett has reached his location. Let's take a look here. So this location should be ours. Let's take a look here. Hold on. Why is that not showing up? Bellefonte. So Bellefonte is indeed ours, and I believe that acts as a supply depot, right? We are getting supplies from Bellefonte. So I'm going to wait just a bit here. Hopefully he can get back in the green. And the French invasion. The European intervention in Mexico is proceeding in accordance with the Convention of Soledad. So far, we have seen the entire capture of Veracruz and European forces advancing to Orizaba, Cordoba, and Tehuacan. The city of Campeche surrendered to the French fleet on February 27th. The latest news is the arrival of French troops under General Charles Ferdinand Ladrille, with reports indicating thousands of troops are under his command, which makes their commitment to follow the convention questionable. Already, we hear rumors of the British and Spanish questioning the French ambition in Mexico. Alright, Napoleon III, of course, having his fun. Pretty typical stuff at this time period. I was so excited there for a second, I thought, wait a minute, you know, maybe the French are joining us. So, the US warns Europe to remain neutral. European superpowers agreed that a blockade is a legal form of warfare. Damn it! Of course, they are blockading our southern ports, not allowing us to trade that wonderful cotton and many other things, and it also makes us hard to get luxuries ourselves as southerners. So, certainly not making me happy, but it is what it is. Look at that supply, 75%. Supply ratio is really not great. However, this could be an opportunity to go ahead and hit them where it hurts. And again, I am almost certain that they're going to have units here. But I'm still going to be a stubborn bastard and go for Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And see if we can't take it over. Of course, that would cause some pretty serious supply issues for the Federals. Really tempted with the Army of the Shenandoah here to go and hit the West Virginia militia. It's 21,000 men, but the thing is, the Army of the Shenandoah is extremely well trained, so I'm really not concerned with them facing a force slightly larger than they are. I think we could probably actually handle it. I'm also going to take a quick look here at our army, and the reason being, we want to make sure that all of our troops have the most recent weapons. Let's take a look here. So we got Lawrence rifle there, Enfield rifle muskets. This is what we want. Mixed muskets is not what we want. So let's upgrade Cheatham's forces. And we should have a bunch in storage here. Some Springfield rifles. There we go. Just kind of looking through, make sure that we don't have any mixed weapons. Unfortunately, we might not have anything for the cavalry. Now again, one of the aspects of the blockade that's so detrimental to our side is, of course, the fact that since we are blockaded, we are not getting any new weaponry either. We've got to pick up whatever we can off the battlefield. In fact, that's where we've gotten most of our weapons, is off the battlefield facing the Union. So we got to keep that in mind, that that is really our source of new weapons, which is why we're probably having such a difficult time there acquiring them. Get that damn supply depot up, boys. 3 days and that depot will be up. Alright, Industrial Policy 1 selected. More support for Confederate factories. And of course, since the Confederacy relies heavily on agriculture, this industrial support is exactly what we need. We need to be able to, you know, have factories to build our weapons like I was just talking about. And of course, just to be self-sufficient, since we can't rely on anybody else. Of course, though, that means that we have to go back into the policy section here, and we need to select the next focus. So industrialization was right there. We could go for industrialization 2, and I do kind of like this because it lowers research speed. A letter of marque is a reprisal of government permission for a private person to attack and capture vessels. Plus 20 relations with Europe. Oh, no, plus 20 war subsidies, minus 10 relations with Europe. I really want to try and keep the relations with Europe good, because maybe, who knows, they could actually, you know, end up siding with us. Either the British or the French, one of them could end up siding with us. Now, for military 2, further reforms in the CS Army allow the creation of larger armies with an independently... that's great, and we definitely want to go down that path, but I think right now, what we really want to focus on is the Tariff Act. Let's do it, boys. Hurt those Yankees right in the old pocketbook. Let's take a look at our army over here, Army of the Northwest. And again, due to the winter, they are going to take quite a beating. They're also suffering from a lack of food. Let's hope that they can raid the homes here in Harrisburg, PA, and steal their food, because that's what we're going to need to do, to eat, pretty much. The Fugitive Slave Act has been annulled, and of course this is the Union declaring that they will no longer send back fugitive slaves to the South. Of course, this to us is a true travesty, a true slap in the face to our fighting strength. Let me stop that Army of the Northwest. We're just getting too far ahead of ourselves over here, aren't we? We'll have them halt. Once they've halted, I will have them go ahead and build a supply depot. I think they're halted now. Beautiful. All right, let's get this up. Here we go. What can I say? Not every single turn can be full of battle. Occasionally, it's just not in the cards, really. And there we go, Beauregard slowly but surely going into the green, guys. So if anybody has any recommendations with what we should do with Beauregard, then make sure to let me know in the comments down below. And there we go. It looks like we've issued $25 million in bonds. Had to be done. I trust the Secretary of the Treasury on this one. He's, of course, entitled to make those decisions. So, first things first, guys, I want to see if we can actually hire more guys for Henry Wise's army. But what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to use Henry Wise to attack Fort Monroe. There's 10,000, actually there's 6,000 garrison troops here. Although, from everybody that I've talked to, it's really best to have like 3-to-1 odds. I don't think we can get 3-to-1 odds. We might be able to get 2-to-1 odds. Whatever the case may be, I'm thinking that that is going to be the correct approach, is to just basically hire more units here for Henry Wise. And that's assuming that we actually can hire more units. Let's actually select Barksdale here. Again, another option is just to kind of join up with Hampton Division here and attack. I just kind of realized that they are there. You know what? Let's start heading that way. Just gonna start heading in that general direction. Didn't want to do that. I wanted to add a new unit. That's okay, though. We're going to add this to Barksdale's army. And we do have sufficient men to hire, which is really good. Volunteers. A lot of volunteers from Alabama, guys. In fact, man, we're going to be busy hiring units here. Infantry Brigade. And remember, I told you guys what our new colors are going to be. We will remain with the gray pants, but I want to have that robin blue uniform. And make sure that's an infantry brigade. It is indeed from Alabama. Recruit. Actually, we should have recruited that under Pemberton. We'll have Pemberton go ahead and hire his own infantry in Georgia. And once again, I'm getting that new uniform there. Recruiting in Georgia. I think actually this army could use some cavalry and some artillery. The Army of Northern Virginia. But let's hold off for now. We also need to focus on our armies up there on the front line, not just this guy all the way behind the lines. So let's take a look at these guys, and maybe even for Johnston, we can give him a stronger army, or bring Beauregard up to the level of 30,000, like the armies we just faced in battle. But I think we should focus on Johnston here. We've done really well so far with him. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead. What in the world? Indian Territory, and sure enough, another infantry brigade. Look at that uniform as well. That is interesting. That baby blue, but definitely a native warrior. I think for them, we're going to give them their own colors. Let's do this. Sort of like Colors of the Woods. I like that. So we'll recruit them as our newest infantry brigade. And I want to upgrade those mixed muskets to something much better. There we go. Make sure we did the same with this other unit. Actually, we can come back and take a look. But it's great to see that quite a few volunteers have decided to join the South. With all this fighting, they want to be a part of the great fight to restore the South. And you know who's looking like he could be of serious assistance? Our old friend Polk, the man who captured Kentucky for the Confederacy here. Absolutely looks like somebody that we could trust with some additional units. I'm actually going to add a new group here. Under Wofford, it looks like, and we are going to try to build this army up. I really think this is one of the more important ones. We'll have these troops from Louisiana, and the Louisiana boys, we're going to have them in... We're going to be a true confederacy, where we're going to try to get colors that actually remind us of said states. Let's go ahead and recruit an infantry brigade there from Louisiana. And we could get an additional artillery unit here as well. We're going to need that too, but we have so many other options, man. Getting infantry from Tennessee, Texas, etc. It's just incredible. So let's grab over here from West Virginia. And our West Virginia boys are going to keep the light gray uniform, just standard uniform. Of course, West Virginia eventually seceded and went didn't secede, remain with the North, unlike Virginia. But in this particular fight, that's not the case. So there we go, that army is going to be built. Polk's command is about to get a lot larger. Problem is, Polk doesn't have not a single cavalry unit in this army. So let's go ahead and grab a few from Tennessee, get some cavalry, and for the cavalry, we're going to give them that wonderful white color there. I think they deserve it. Like, honestly, is that any different from the light gray? I guess, barely. We'll take it, and we shall recruit that cavalry. We're going to need, for sure, another cavalry unit. Let's add it over here, and this time, the boys will show up from Texas. I believe for cavalry, 2,000 is enough? Maybe not. Let's take a look here. Oh, Missouri. All right. We'll go ahead in Missouri, and we're going to get some units. And again, cavalry units, we're going to have, this time, British Red and White Pants. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think Polk's command is about to look great. But keep in mind that this takes time. It takes time to have all these units arrive. So, for instance, if I look over there, 8,808 is the amount of men that are on their way to join this army. But just imagine the work that it doesn't take to get men here. Of course, we got to bring them from their farms to the training facility. We've got to train them up. We've got to give them weapons. We got to feed them. We got to clothe them. And then, only then, do we send them to the front lines. And all during winter, and with little to no trade coming in from Europe. So, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a challenge. There's no doubt about that. It is definitely going to be a bit of a challenge. In fact, we'll jump over here to the Army of Northern Virginia. I just want to see how much longer it's going to take them. They are up to 15,000 men, and I really do want to attack there. But first, we've got to make sure that the readiness is a little better. Maybe not, actually, because we're in our own territory, so readiness is not going to stop us from attacking. I'm going for it, man. I'm going for it. We've already got 5,000 of the recruits that have arrived. I think it's time to get the Union completely out of the South, and removing forts like that would be the most direct way to do it. On your way, boys. On your way now. Henry Wise, make sure to win that fort back for the Confederacy. Let's take a look at Garnett. Where is Garnett? Actually, I think he might be all the way up here. Holy hell. Well, the good news is, he's got his supply back. They absolutely have an army there in Eastern Virginia. Excuse me, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. What I'm going to try to do is fall back to the Cumberland. Yeah, not easy. It's going to take 3 hours just for them to receive the orders. But if we can fall back to the Cumberland, hopefully we will be fairly safe. I think at some point here, we're going to have to get aggressive again with Beauregard. We can't simply leave him here. We need to, of course, do something with him. Let's just take a quick look. He's got 2 cavalry. I think Beauregard could use another cavalry unit. Why does it do that? That seems to be a frustrating little... Alright, let's see. From Maryland. Unbelievable to have some Maryland units. And we're going to give them the Robin Blue. There we go. Alright. Nice new cavalry unit arriving. I like that. Although I shouldn't have added it to Bonham's group. We are going to add also over here, maybe some units from Mississippi. Also from South Carolina, we could get quite a few. Let's get some Tennessee boys. There we go. Welcome aboard, boys. So we are strengthening these northeastern armies. I think it's important. I really wanted to add units to our western armies, but first things first, and this is definitely going to have to come first. Boom, boom, boom. Another infantry unit, I believe. Let's give it to Hardy. And this one is going to be directly from South Carolina. Once again, the Robin Blue is what we're going for. I wanted to take a look there because something that was quite interesting, and I kind of skimmed over it, is just the amount of losses per state. Now, I would guess that Virginia is the state that's lost the most, but let's just take a look here. So, if we hit add a new unit, casualties. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. So it's Virginia. I was correct on that. Closely followed by Tennessee. And then North Carolina. No, actually, then Georgia. And then Louisiana. And then North Carolina. And then Alabama. So, wow. I didn't realize Louisiana gave so many men. But actually, quite a lot of our cavalry units and our artillery units are Louisiana units. So, that does make sense, I suppose. Well, brothers, I do hope you are continuing to enjoy the series. Again, once we get up to that 500 views and 40 likes, I always release the next episode. I am really trying to be pretty strict about that. So if you're new to the series and you want to, start from the beginning, I'm going to put the first episode in the description of the video here, and I highly recommend you take a look. Thank you so much, boys. I hope to see you in the next video.